In my humble opinion, Bioshock Infinite has one of the best endings in any form of interactive fiction, or just fiction in general. It left a lot of people confused, however, so here is my attempt to explain it from what I can tell. Okay, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to refer to the universe Booker DeWitt comes from as Universe 1. However, I will refer to the universe Zachary Comstock comes from as Universe 2. That's the universe the game takes place with. Okay? I'm just going to call it that to avoid confusion. Okay, perhaps the most important people to note in this whole explanation are the Lutece twins. Yes, they aren't technically related, but so in both universes, Booker DeWitt, after the Battle of Broken Knee, I think it's called, or Wounded Knee, goes to have a baptism. However, in Universe 1, he refuses this baptism. He doesn't get baptized. That's the most important thing here. He later has a child who he names Anna DeWitt. This is Elizabeth. In Universe 2, however, Booker accepts the baptism and he is reborn spiritually as Zachary Comstock, and he goes on to make Columbia. However, he wants a kid to continue his lineage, but he is infertile from working with the Luteces. So the Lutece twins go through they use their interdimensional travel machine to go off and find a child from another universe who is related to Comstock. This is Booker DeWitt from Universe 1's child. So Booker has debts in Universe 1, so the Luteces offer to take away the girl and they'll wipe away the debt. And Booker does this. I assume they give him the option because it's the morally right thing to do, I suppose. So Booker reconsiders, but isn't able to save her before Comstock and the Luteces drag her through the portal. Her finger is cut off. That's why Elizabeth has a thimble on her finger. He carves her initials AD onto his hand as a form of penance. Then, years later, the Luteces go through and give him the option for salvation, basically, to avenge. So he agrees and goes through to Universe 2. However, because there's now two Booker DeWitts in Universe 2, his brain seems to formulate its own memories of being sent by someone to go retrieve Elizabeth from Columbia to wipe away his debt. At this exact point, when he's on the boat, the game begins. Now, the most confusing part here is how does the multiple Elizabeths drowning you at baptism change history? Well, they basically erase all of the realities in which Comstock exists by drowning the Booker who accepts the baptism at the baptism. This erases every Comstock in every reality. This also, of course, erases Elizabeth. However, explaining the end credits scene, it doesn't erase Booker DeWitt. Booker DeWitt, who refuses the baptism, all those universes continue to exist. So that is how Anne DeWitt is there at the end with Booker. Okay, I hope that helped you in understanding what predates the game and kind of what happens at the end. I think that because of its amazing ending, which really goes above what it had to do, it traverses the problem that many games have where it's final boss then it abruptly ends and gives you like 15 minutes to half an hour of just really interesting not gameplay I suppose, but story that really helps them with multiple sequels. So I think it's great, it's really emotional, it's really heartfelt, and I really implore you go out and buy this game. It is really good. So I probably actually will do another episode of this talking about the explanation of rapture and the whole there's always a man, there's always a lighthouse. So